The courtyard is used for a kind of dating spot. From here, they have a clear view of Block 5. They use a specially developed sign language to communicate with the male inmates there. Carolina explains how the sign language works.
For example, we use letters. This is an A, this is a B, this is a C, this means D, and this is an E. This means I have a favor to ask. This is a heart, and these are many, many, many kisses.
Carolina has been in Picaleña prison for a long time. She uses every second in the yard to chat.
I'm talking to my husband Fabian right now. I said hello to him. Hello, my love. And another heart. I said, I love you. I really love you. We got together 3 years ago and got married. We got to know each other through the court chat here.
A prison love story. A lot has changed for Carolina as a result.
I'm very happy to have him. You're under constant pressure here in prison. Most everyone here is very lonely. Most have no one they can talk to. I have him. I share my worries with him. We laugh, and we also talk on the phone about everything. In 12 years, the first time I think I fell really in love with someone.
Then it's time for her to say goodbye for today.
Ladies, time's up. We're going back.
It will be another 2 days before the women will be allowed outside again. Escaping from Picaleña prison is virtually impossible. The entire prison is surrounded by 3 fences, each 6 meters high. From its watchtowers, guards can keep an eye on every corner. Civilian police patrol the perimeter of the prison, just in case someone does manage the impossible and gets over the multiple walls of barbed wire. The individual blocks are additionally secured with 3 rows of fencing and barbed wire. Each block also has its own watchtower. Block 7 is a very special block where no ordinary prisoners are housed. The block is for older prisoners and former civil servants. Most of them are convicted of corruption. Our camera team is not allowed into the cell wing, as no one is supposed to see what it looks like inside. The only thing to see is the block's workshop. This is where prisoners sew work clothes for their fellow inmates. He used to be a prison guard himself. 54-year-old John Carlos was convicted of drug smuggling and corruption. At first, it was a shock for him to be on the other side.
I was a bit scared at first. Fear is a human emotion. I think that's quite normal. When I was on my way here, it was a very queasy feeling. Of course, you wonder what will happen. How will they treat me? How will they receive me? I knew that if I was sent to prison and they put me in a normal wing, then my life would be in danger from the very first moment. No question about it.
He worked for 30 years in an even bigger prison than Picaleña. He was even an inspector, a rank just below the warden, until the lure of money became too great.
It was a bad decision that has brought me here. I failed. I made a mistake. I didn't think about the consequences. I took it too lightly. And now I have to pay for it. I was just too ambitious. If you're too ambitious, you take risks. At some point, these risks get bigger and bigger. You no longer think rationally, and you risk more and more.
Being behind bars himself also makes him see his former job in a different light. As a guard, he would do many things differently today.
I would be much more human, reserved, much humbler. Why? Because when you stand on the other side of the bars, as a guard, you can hardly imagine how inmates suffer.
A rather late realization. There is also a complete block for women in Picaleña prison. Around 450 female prisoners are serving their sentences here, most of them for murder, drug trafficking, or both. Here too, everyday life is a constant struggle. The women are not particularly squeamish. 34-year-old Erica has been here for 8 years.
Sometimes we can solve problems by talking, but most of the time that doesn't help much. There is no tolerance. What happens then? We grab each other. We grab each other by the hair. There is one word here, cinco. It means something like fist. The fists take away the anger. Of course, we also try to talk to each other. And if not, then suddenly it starts. We use our fists. We fight. Or we stab. If you can't solve a problem any other way, then you stab. You take a hairbrush or pencil and turn it into a weapon. Just take the handle and attach a pointed blade to it.
However, when it comes to disputes, there is a golden rule.
If we see the guards coming, it's over immediately. As long as no one is seriously injured, there are no problems.
Otherwise, in the end, everyone will have to pay for it. It also applies to women. If you don't have a job, you have to spend the day in the courtyard and just kill time somehow. The women's cells are also only 12 square meters in size. Up to 6 women share a cell. Some of them sleep on mattresses on the floor. The bathroom consists of just a wash basin and toilet. Those who don't want to use one of the communal showers in the courtyard can shower over the toilet bowl.
We lay towels on the floor and then sit down on the toilet. We soap up and then get up to thoroughly scrub ourselves. Then we sit down again and pour water over ourselves, and it runs down the toilet. That's how you sit there. To wash your feet, we put a foot on here and then soap it up and wash it off.
Privacy is not an option. While almost everyone in Pavilion 23 has a prison sentence of over 20 years, things are a little quieter in the second pavilion for women. Around 80% of the prisoners here are on remand. Lilian, the wife of inmate Carlos, is also sitting here. Today is a good day for her. As a reward for going to school, the judge has confirmed that she will be released from prison sooner.
This document means a lot to me. It eases my concerns, at least a little, because now I can see my family and children again sooner. They deducted 528 hours of my sentence.
That amounts to 22 days. It doesn't sound like much, but in prison, every day counts. She got 13 years for being accessory to the murder committed by Carlos.
We did it together. I've never accused him of that, and I never will. I told him this many times. We're both here because we both did it. We're both guilty.
Lily and Carlos have been a couple for 9 years. Despite being in prison, he is still the man of her dreams.
It's not easy because of the distance. But after everything we've been through, we're both still alive. We'll get through this, and then we can move on with everything we had planned, with our dreams and our love. And I ask God to give us the opportunity to get out of this, to move forward, to be able to give our daughters a great future, to be able to be with them and fill them with love.
Whether she still sees it that way when she gets out remains to be seen. Carlos will still have at least another 10 years ahead of him.